Welcome back to Star-Crossed Kings, everybody. King Cheese has defeated 3 challengers off to a pretty promising start, and I know I said last series that it was going to be his first real challenge, taking on Barton, which he did quite successfully. Things are escalating further here. Now Cheese will have to play against Star-Crossed Cup 3 finalist, Tiger Giap, which I know I'm pronouncing incorrectly, I think. It's actually Giap or Giap. Something like that. That's my best attempt.
The new Grenadier squad is ready.
Named after an actual Vietnamese general. Fun fact. You can look that up on Wikipedia. While we make our way into the early game, we're going to see a 2 conscript opening from Giap. Getting himself a 2nd combat engineer now, so he might be going tier 1 a little on the early side, is my guess. And Cheese is going to go with double grenadier, and loadouts are shock rifle, guard motor, and mechanized support versus Festung armor, lightning war, and mobile defense. So there are lightning wars here, but nothing too meta here from Cheese. He always plays a pretty non-meta style, and that looks like it's going to continue in this game. How much coffee did it take me to get going today? Well, I actually haven't quite finished this mug yet, but as you can see, it's pretty plus sized. You know, I'll put it next to my head for like perspective. Or this can of soda. It's like bigger than a can of soda. A pretty big coffee mug. My girlfriend handmade this. It's like a special mug, and she bought like a special marker or something and mug, and she made this mug for me. It has lyrics on it from a song I really like. It's very sweet. So I'm just gonna be sipping that during the cast. First engagement will be up here between combat engineers and Pyos at close range in this green cover. I think those Pyos do not have cover at that range. It doesn't look like they do. They're going down pretty quick, so they'll be forced to retreat right there. Combat engineers get an easy engagement win. Grenadiers taking control of the strategic point right there. Two squads of grenadiers up here to engage against conscripts. Giap is making his way into the engagement with 2 squads of cons from the road and another from the west to start putting pressure on those grenadiers to retreat. Meanwhile, the spare squad of combat engineers did not tech, by the way. He just made them for capping power purely, not to tech in the base. Interestingly enough, grenadiers massed here in the strategic point have not yet dropped anyone. There goes one. One conscript model goes down there, another one goes down there at range. It looks like the conscripts are pulling ahead in this engagement, but an MG setting up over here in the snow threatens to suppress those squads, and they have to get to safety. They will get clear of the arc of fire. Meanwhile, that squad has to retreat from focus fire. And grenadiers are healthy enough to stay on the front line for now, while these conscripts look for other opportunities here in the central village. One squad of grenadiers making its way towards the strategic point here to get control of the cutoff. And these conscripts, that's a 4th squad out, will push away those Grens right there. So 3 Grens MG42 versus 4 cons, 2 combat engineers. And this is, of course, the standard Soviet Corps, and this is the standard Oster Corps. So far, completely standard game. Nice flank right there. That was perfect. MG didn't even get a shot off. Both squads advancing perfectly timed from 2 different directions, and the machine gun is forced to retreat. Meanwhile, here in the north, grenadiers also forced to retreat through deep snow, and there is a lot of stuff in their retreat path. I think we might be looking at an early wipe. I don't know if that's going to get away. It doesn't look too good, honestly. Flamethrower upgrade complete right here, moving into this engagement. Combat engineers are available to start doing a little bit of damage to them as they try and cross the road. Brings that model down to maybe a little over half health. Conscripts firing, more conscripts firing, and that is probably going to be the first wipe of the game right there. Unless he gets a miracle escape, which it looks like he might, crossing the road. No shots fired as he crossed the road, and that grenadier will get away. Wow. That is so lucky. I can't believe that Grenadier squad's alive right now. That is incredible. Meanwhile, here in the south, combat engineers lose an engagement against those Grens and will be forced to retreat. And another squad with the flamethrower taking control of the center VP to try and make sure the victory point drains not too quick here in the early game. Already 75 points knocked off, so gonna have to try to slow that down. Grenadiers engaging against these combat engineers. MG42 moves to assist in the engagement. The combat engineers hit Vet 1. They were trying to stick around for a flamethrower upgrade, but it just wasn't going to happen. They're going to get forced to retreat right there. Lose another model in the red cover. We'll get back to the base. Conscripts take control of this building. Currently the south fuel is disconnected, but just denying it to his opponent is good enough for Giap, while he will have the income from the north fuel coming in. But he's going to have to try and push a machine gun and grenadier squad from this point if possible. Got one squad of conscripts in range to support right now. Two squads of conscripts currently working on the center village to maintain control. And that flamethrower is definitely going to have to retreat from this engagement. Conscripts just kiting it to death slowly. Chipping away at his health. It can't quite get in flamethrower range. There goes another model. Late retreat at this point. Very late retreat. There they go. I'm not sure they're going to get away either. Conscripts moving in a slightly unfavorable fashion though, and switch targets to the Grens that don't even go for the wipe, which I think they could have secured. Here in the south, conscripts are easily winning an engagement against those Grens. They're in open ground. Conscripts at medium range with yellow cover. Shred that grenadier squad so quick. And they'll be forced to retreat, and it looks like all engagements are trending in Giap's favor, and so is map control, worrying more about denying fuel to his opponent right now than securing fuel for himself. He will build tier 2 in his base, maybe start getting some tier 2 units out of there. No commander selections yet from either player. Cheese making his way up to 3 CPs now, and Giap up to 2.5. Conscripts move to flank the machine gun in the fuel and will get in range well before it can reposition to safety. They will not leave the capture circle to force a retreat though. They're just going to stand here in green cover capturing the fuel rather than try to win the engagement and try and get that fuel decapped as soon as possible, and maybe just try and win the engagement in green versus yellow cover. Doesn't seem to be going very well for them though. They're going down quickly. Grenadiers jumping into the capture circle to stop it from being capped, and that conscript squad might get wiped in the red cover. There they go. Didn't even have to make it into red cover. The conscripts are wiped. So that's the first wipe of the game, and it will go to Cheese on those conscripts. Late retreat, deciding to tank machine gun fire in that green cover position. Doesn't work out very well. Conscripts are going to pull away from this engagement, surprisingly. Not entirely sure they were going to lose that. Oh, it's a flamethrower, not a grenadier squad. So yeah, they definitely would have lost that, and has to pull back out of flamethrower range to engage from a distance. Flamethrower moves up to support. Flamethrower in the house will pull back to safety. This flamethrower will secure the building. Here in the south, conscripts jump into green cover to engage against these grenadiers. No Molotov research, but he does have AT grenade research, so he's anticipating a scout car, I think, from Cheese, but he's just gone straight to Panzer Grenadiers in addition to two flamethrowers. So they've both got double flamethrower, and Giap is actually going to field a third combat engineering squad now, possibly to go up to tier 3 in his base without having to retreat any of his flamethrowers off the front line. And notice that Giap doesn't have any fuel coming in, and he continues to worry only about denying fuel to his opponent rather than securing fuel for himself. He has yet to send a squad down here to take control back on the south strategic point right there. He will throw a wire on this road, although the lake kind of makes that pretty irrelevant. Flamethrower moving in from the north, conscripts up from the south, force retreat from that machine gun, which may make it difficult for Cheese to win an engagement on this fuel point. Panzer Grenadiers are going way north. Flamethrowers engaging against two squads of Grenadiers positioned in yellow cover, and two more flamethrowers are making their way to the front line, which means Giap probably cannot win this engagement.
Has arrived.
Those two squads will retreat back to the base. These conscripts engaging against Grenadiers here in the lake. Flamethrower squad moves to jump inside of a building. Here in the central village, and these conscripts look like they will not be able to win an engagement now that this half-track has arrived to his support. So half-track is on the field for Cheese, and he has chosen Lightning War. Wonder if he might start fielding some G43s. So far, he's just the only munitions expenditures he's made are on flamethrowers. Purchased 2 flamethrowers, no healing yet, no LMGs yet, and no G43s. Pio's taking control of the north cutoff here, and Panzer Grenadiers are moving to grab the victory point and munitions. That squad will retreat. This conscript squad will also retreat.
On the flanks, go attack!
Flamethrower here will be forced to retreat as well. Panzer Grenadiers continue taking control of the area while the half-track moves across the lake to support and engagements for this area, try and get that flamethrower reinforced. Giap has chosen shock rifle. Fields 1 squad of shocks to work on the north. T-70 also in production out of a tier 3 structure, which is going to exhaust all of his fuel, by the way. And from this point forward, he'll probably be working his way towards Collins. Meanwhile, Cheese has no anti-tank yet. AT gun is probably going to be the next big manpower purchase, though, if I had to guess. And a Teller mine will go down right here as well. And a mine from Giap will bleed that machine gun a little bit, but it doesn't do anything too serious. We'll be able to get that healed up. Shock Troop Squad heading north to engage against these Panzer Grenadiers. Should be able to beat them. They were positioned in green cover briefly. They left their position in green cover. Shock Troops are simply going to close in and kill them. Kind of a late retreat at this point from those Panzer Grens. There they go. They are going to get a little bit caught in deep snow, but 2 Shock Troop models have already died, so the DPS isn't what it could be. Panzer Grenadiers will get to safety just fine. Not sure what this half-track is doing. T-70 is on the field. This is an extremely vulnerable half-track right here. What is he doing with... I feel like that half-track is going to die. Is he really going to try and force a retreat on shock troops with a half-track? He's going to be here all day, and a T-70 will show up and just kill him. That half-track is almost certainly guaranteed dead. There's no Teller mine anywhere. He's not going to be able to, like, make some sort of miracle escape away from a T-70. Not sure where the T-70 is going, though. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Half-track goes down after a rather misguided attempt to force shock troops to retreat up there in the north. Half-track is not really the best counter-harassment unit. I don't think that's really its role. Unless upgraded with flame projectors, of course.
Shock troops have arrived.
Nice Teller mine, though.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles.
Nice Teller mine. So they've both lost their light vehicle. Half-track goes down and T-70 also goes down. And yes, the more you spam Romeo mug, the more likely I am to take a sip.
This territory is ours.
Conscripts will be forced to retreat there from the south. Pios push them off the battlefield. These conscripts start firing on grenadiers right here. And these flamethrower piles take control of this strategic point while shock troops take control of the fuel. Panzer Grenadiers back on the field trying to get control of the north. There's a demo charge up there. I'm not exactly sure what the vision situation is going to be. We'll see.
Soviet territory has increased.
A couple squads working on Grens in this house. Almost get away narrowly. You will have vision of this and may choose to detonate. Apparently not. Oh, there he goes. Squad is wiped. Nice demo charge. Panzer Grenadiers are down. Here in the south, flamethrowers are moving to take control. That's 3 flamethrowers on the field, by the way. He merged with this conscript squad to keep the flamethrowers on the field a little bit longer. This squad working on the cutoff catches that AT gun right there. This flamethrower grabbing back the fuel. Machine gun right there will also be forced to retreat, and shock troops are moving up from the north flank. With only 3 models remaining, they won't be able to do too much, and a fresh squad has been fielded here as well, which is going to make this area very dangerous for Cheese, and everything's going to be forced off the field into retreating. Complete full retreat by the Oster back into his base, giving total map control to GF here. And that's going to make his fuel income quite high. The T-70 being dead is nice, though. T-70 being dead means that he doesn't have anything really mobile to hunt and kill harassing squads that are deep behind his lines. So, at least this, for example, has a slightly lower chance of getting wiped on retreat. Unless there's some lucky flame crits. Which there might be. A lot of flame bursts going off on that because of the deep snow. They're going to have to eat another one. There goes the flamethrower and the squad is wiped. So even without the T-70, they do go down. And it looks like Giap will get control of the entire map. Cheese is going to have to mobilize a successful counterattack. And it will be difficult, having lost his half-track, having lost his Panzer Grenadiers, and having suffered a lot of manpower bleed on what squads he does have on the field.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Mines going down. Grenadiers moving to take control of the north point. He will kind of clump on the flag for a second time. Usually, if you can't sweep for demo charges, it's best to just cap from the very edge of the sector and hope for the best. Shock troops jump inside of this building. Getting engaged by a flamethrower will get himself vision of what's coming. He sees the two Grenadier squads right there. Plus, of course, the flamethrower. AT gun and machine gun hanging out a little bit further back. Grenadiers continue harassing up here in the north while the flamethrower gets control of all territory here in the south. And the Grenadiers, rather than making an attempt for the central village to support that flamethrower, are going to head south to try and push away that lone squad if possible. Conscripts engaging against these Grenadiers here in the fuel point. Fuel is going up pretty quick. Still needs another 100 to get to IS-2 though. Wow, those G43s. G43s do work right there. Conscripts will be forced to retreat, but shock troops, will, of course, will obviously win that engagement. Grenadiers can't stick around any longer. Will be forced away, and they should be able to get control of all territory here in the north. Double fuel cache. Look at that. Double fuel cache for Giap. In 1v1, it doesn't necessarily always make sense to go fuel cache, but that will bolster his fuel income to 42 per minute, which is definitely going to accelerate the arrival of that IS-2. He wants to get it out as quickly as he can and sees no need to supplement his infantry corps with any further. Wait, what? Why are there two tier 2 structures in Cheese's base? Is this some next level strategy that I don't understand? He didn't go battle phase 2. Did he forget that he built it the first time? That's not that much resources wasted, but it's kind of a lot. Oh jeez, and a pilot squad just got wiped here on the lake. I don't know why he built two tier 2 structures. He also just lost that flamethrower. I'm pretty sure there's no way Cheese is going to be able to win this game. The Collins are going to be here pretty soon. A third fuel cache is going up right there. Smoke grenade deployed by those shock troops. More shock troops catch Grenadiers at point blank range here in the north. Easy win for those shocks. Grenadiers have to retreat across red cover, and I don't even know if they're going to retreat. Barely get away. Flamethrower engaging against these Grenadiers here in the south. Molotov on the machine gun will force that back slightly.
We have lost a squad.
Ooh. Another squad just got wiped, and I think that's the game. Yes, that is definitely the game, which means Giap has taken game 1 with a 416 victory point. Allied victory, as Collins never even managed to hit the field, although they were close. Good game. Giap takes it, and we'll see if Cheese can recover the series in game 2.